Sort of work through all of the stats, Andrea. Talk about, you know, the success that Iga Swiatek has had just in such a relatively short space of time. She had 62 match wins last season. That's the 4th year in a row that she's won 60+ matches in a year. And the last 2 players to do that, Martina Hingis and Lindsay Davenport.
That's a nice list of people to be added to. She had one of the more astonishing ascents to the top of the world with Ash Barty retiring. She all of a sudden was world #1 and just casually went on to win 36 matches in a row as if nothing happened. That was some feat from Swiatek.
Well, it ties in with what you were saying during the warm-up about, you know, we rate these players so highly, but that's because we see the talent, we see what they're able to do. Well, it's a statement already for Swiatek in this opening game.
And Jill, it looks like Swiatek is using that forehand topspin very well from up here. How does it look from down there? Much better, probably.
You hit the nail on the head, Andrea, and I actually noticed it from the warm-up. She was going even higher and heavier in the warm-up just to get that shape. She's been practicing that, working on using that because it's so effective. And right away from the first ball, you're exactly right. It's just coming off the court, jumping off the court really well, but what a good start for Swiatek. Intense from the first ball, as we know she can be, but the breeze is a little bit behind her on this side, so now it'll be behind Bouzkova, even though it's still not super windy, but there is a slight breeze in that direction.
Oh, that is fantastic. 15,500 kilometres to see Iga Swiatek, and they won't be disappointed today, I'm sure. Win predictor is coming up. What are you thinking, Petko, for this one?
I think in favor of Swiatek by 71%? 69. Oh. I was so close.
I might start calling you algorithm. Nailed that. You didn't even know.
I'm disappointed by the miss, though.
Too good. It's just too solid from the back of the court.
And just to elaborate on what Jill just said, it is so important to use that rotation against a player like Bouzkova. I mentioned it. She's a counterpuncher. She plays with the pace of the opponent. She has a little bit more trouble creating something by herself. Those heavily rotated shots, they sit up, and you have to do something with your own strength and power, and that is not the comfort zone for Bouzkova.
She's going to try and match that pace toe-to-toe from the back of the court. You're going to see errors flying from the Bouzkova racket. Interesting to see how they rate those, actually, whether it's an unforced error at the moment. They're forced errors with the pressure that she's under.
And that was a great example for Swiatek, flattening the ball out a little bit, and right away Bouzkova can take that pace and redirect. And that's why we see Swiatek using a bit more of that spin.
So early trouble for Bouzkova here. Antonin Boldarts, who's Bouzkova's coach, on the right there with the sunglasses.
I think he stole my sunglasses. I've been missing them for a few days.
So the early break.
Swiatek leads 2 games to 0.
Very good start from Iga Swiatek. That is so important when you play these players in the early rounds that you know can do some damage against the seeds. You want to show who is boss in the house right out the gate, and this is a very good beginning for Swiatek.
Well, you'll take that little bit of luck. Sorry, not sorry. I think that should be abolished from the sport, Andrea. Here's Wim Fissette, coach of Iga Swiatek.
You got to keep up the, you know, the pretenses
No.
behind Wim. Behind Wim, Daria Abramovic, the sports psychologist for Swiatek.
Let for service. Love 30.
Bouzkova already doing a better job of, in the second serve, standing way inside the baseline to take that ball a little bit earlier. That ball's kicking up, but it doesn't quite have the heaviness right now in the second serve. So good aggressive stance from Bouzkova.
All over the nets. We know how comfortable she could be coming forward. And right on display there.
15-30.
Very well done. That's one aspect of Swiatek's game they have worked on in the preseason, have tried to make her feel more comfortable up there. She has good volleys, just needs to develop the instinct a bit more. That is the worst you can do against Iga Swiatek, is give her neutral balls that sit up in the center of the court Whether it's a backhand or a forehand, she's absolutely relentless on those.
It's nicely constructed. Redirection of pace up the line.
30-40. Yes.
There it is again, those neutral balls, and that's what
Advantage.
Jill pointed out at that love 30. That's what Bouzkova did so well in the first 2 points. She didn't give Swiatek anything neutral, but pushed her rather a little bit up the baseline. Not easy to do against the world number 2.
Yes.
Did see that she asked for a box of tissues before the match started.
Well, I don't know about you, but I did feel some allergies around Melbourne Park yesterday and today.
Bit of sneezing going on.
Yeah.
Advantage. Jump.
Just reaching for that ball.
Yes. Advantage, Bouzkova.
Difference in terms of where that return landed. Bit of extra depth. Serve coming in at 149. Just caught the edge.
That was a little more precise than
Yes.
needed. I think it was exactly on the same line where Jill is sitting. It just caught the end of the line there, did it?
It's interesting, she's serving a lot to the backhand right now, and I think it's to try and open up and stretch the court and try and get Bouzkova on the run on that forehand side.
Advantage, Bouzkova.
So the break back. They're on serve early in the first set of this one. It's Swiatek, 2-1.
Swiatek leads 2-1.
Now settled into the task.
Selling into the task, and we can already see glimpses of why Bouzkova was as high as 24 in the world and why she has those 2 titles. The Wimbledon quarterfinal you mentioned. She's a very feisty competitor. And there is now something about the racket. Jill, could you make out whether Iga was not happy with her tension?
With the racket?
Yes.
I know that before the warm-up, she hit a few balls and then all of a sudden gave a racket to win for set because she didn't like that one. So just trying to find the right racket to work with.
So great crowd again. Night number 5 of Australian Open 2026 is flying along. The second round matches, we're completing them today into the 3rd round tomorrow. And things start to move quickly. 66,675 people here today, a new record.
Just missed there, but you could see what Jill was talking about earlier. Going after the forehand, trying to really exploit that wing. That is the slightly weaker wing of Bouzkova, and only going into the backhand to open the court, spread the court. Just missed there.
Didn't quite put it away. It was a positive move from Bouzkova. It's the right idea, but just didn't do enough with that ball, and then Swiatek waiting.
That was such a great ball. She could have had so much time on that. She could have easily flattened that out and attacked it, but she's still opting to go for that higher, heavier ball. The one she missed down the line, she did flatten out. And I think Wim's been working on be okay to hit that heavy one over and over again.
Talk about the success that players from Czechia have. Just one retires, another one comes in. There's 8 ranked inside the WTA top 100. Bouzkova, the 4th ranked player at 44. Gee, there's some pressure on that second serve from both players really at the moment.
It's 3 against 1.
Yeah, it's a lot going on. There's the conditions that have dramatically dropped off in heat, so players need to adjust their string tension, and then of course playing Swiatek, who's one of the best returners in the game, will just add that extra tension on those second serves for Bouzkova, and she did have lower back issues in the past, so probably also some of that, a combination of all these things. And this is exactly the ball that Jill was talking about, the one where she doesn't go to play a ripper, as they say in Australia, but she adds that bit of shape. It is breezy in Melbourne. You have to give yourself somewhat of a margin.
She can absorb the pressure for a little while, Bouzkova, but Swiatek so far inside the baseline by the end of that point.
That feels so stifling when Swiatek starts to dictate the point from the center of the court with her forehand. It's always a good sign of confidence when she is using the forehand from the center. Yeah, this beautiful serving here. Bit of rotation, but when you do see Swiatek take the backhand from the center, that's often a sign that she's having some doubts or some tension in her body. That was the case in the first round. Today, a lot of forehands from the center of the court, even when she misses some.
Swiatek holds. Consolidates the break. It's 4-1 in the opening set. The number 2 seed. Oh, great crowd filing in now to Cain Arena. So many spectators around the grounds. Opportunity to get in here as quickly as possible. 2 matches to come, this one, and then later on it'll be Taylor Fritz against Victor Kopriva, 9 seed. Looking okay after his opening round match. This stadium turns into a concert venue. There's going to be all sorts of music performances this time next week and throughout the rest of the tournament.
Time.
As usual, Iga Swiatek bouncing out of the chair. Just asserting her authority on this contest. See with the top players, they want to get through this first week with as minimum of fuss as possible. Start building for week number 2.
Rybakina.
They had to be patient, but got the result.
30-love.
Very good point by Bouzkova. And you can see her, this one right here, running around her forehand to use her backhand, just gives away what shot she feels more comfortable on, but gets a nice angle and finishes it beautifully at the net.
Love.
There is coming on the Swiatek racket. 9 unforced at the moment. That forehand wing.
Oh, Pete and Andrea, you both mentioned patience, and I think that's going to be really important as this match goes along because the temperature is dropping. It's getting a little bit colder. I'm sitting behind Wim and Daria. They both put a sweatshirt on and sweatpants. Daria just looked at me and said she's so cold. So the ball's not going to be as lively. So patience is going to be key in some of these longer rallies.
She's touched the net in the end there. Well, that's an interesting tactic from Swiatek.
She's just before. I mean, she's not moving. She has just the racket up. So I was checking. Sorry, no, not in your foot. I mean, for me, it's not an hindrance. So looking at it, I'm going to see her. But we can have a look if you want. I don't know, Tato. She's just there. Is what? Yeah, of course. I can check that. So checking if the racket is on the other side of the net, just to make things clear. Okay.
So,
Ladies and
review.
gentlemen, Ms. Bouzkova is challenging the call that the racket of her opponent was on the other side of the net.
Well, it was interesting watching it down here from courtside because they were both charging the net. Here's the review.
So this is not the challenge itself, Jill.
Oh, that's just the review of the play. Yeah, no, I don't think I see Iga's racket going over, but
Now, the issue here, Jill, is about Bouzkova touched the net here. So she's right to be able to reach over because the ball went on Bouzkova's side and then went back over.
yeah.
So she has the right to reach over and touch it. But as we can see, Swiatek nowhere near the net on the other side.
Before the second bounce, so you can show the whole session to the screen. Okay, thank you.
So here comes the verdict. Swiatek moved out of the way. She's nowhere near it. And did well actually to get out of the way of it. But Bouzkova was trying to trying to get the ball because she needed to touch the ball for that to count.
She's smiling, so Good to see that.
15 left. Bouzkova has 2 challenges remaining.
Interesting there that there wasn't too much chatter about the hindrance, because Swiatek was moving forward and trying to stand in position to be as big as possible there. Knew that there was a lot of backspin on that ball.
She did well in just raising the racket up. We have seen that from her before, where she sort of waves.
Yep.
I think that would have been more of an hindrance, but she just charged the net, lifted her racket up, and that could be interpreted as, well, in case she does smash, I can hold my racket up and give myself a chance to win the point.
Nicely done from Swiatek, keeping control of the contest. It's 5-2 in the first set.
Swiatek leads 5 games to 2.
Swapping the racket here, 7 games in.
Let's take another look at this interesting point. So see Swiatek, she'd be aware that there's backspin on this ball where it's going. So she needs to stand. And she got out of the way to let Bouzkova, otherwise she would have been hit with the racket.
Yeah. I think this is a great camera angle, this one too, but the one before where you see her from behind, you can really see that she just lifts up the racket, trying to give herself a chance, and then realizes, oh, whoopsie daisy, I'm in the way. And gets out of it just in time.
So just to repeat, that Bouzkova could reach over the net in that instance because the ball had gone on her side of the court. You can't do it unless it crosses the marker of the net. Well, we're here at the Happy Slam, and the Polish fans pretty happy with the way things are going right now. Nice Polish population here in Melbourne. Oh, that's just great speed from Swiatek. Making her play the extra ball, but what pace around the court.
Yeah, beautiful defense from Swiatek, but I love that Bouzkova is trying a few other things. She has realized that from the baseline, Swiatek is very strong, so she's trying to put in a few net attacks. We saw a few drop shots, and this is what I love about tennis players, when they try to think their way through the strategy and through the game plan and try to figure things out as they go.
Bouzkova's got 6 doubles titles to her name. She plays a healthy amount of doubles throughout the year. it's just too good. Too much power on the baseline from Swiatek.
15-13.
Yeah, did a lot better on that return. The prior return, she just tried to go for a bit too much there. But this one found exactly the right balance between aggressiveness and risk-taking. And take a look here. This is an incredible stat. She's taking 47% of her shots inside the baseline. That is outrageous. A lot of pace to handle on the other side.
Another example of it, that controlled aggression from Swiatek.
15-14.
And also that movement forward as well. Seeing that opportunity. She's going to hit a decent ball. It's going to go deep in the court. Come forward, try and finish it off at the net. Yeah, she's getting it done nicely here. The second seeds. Iga Swiatek in 38 minutes takes the first set, 6 games to 2. Well, she definitely has the balance of power in this match. She is just controlling things. It is on her racket, Andrea.
Yeah, maybe she can hear Jill Krabus from courtside, because Jilly called it well. She said, hey, the conditions are slowing down, you need to be patient, and she really found the patience there, and her serve is looking magnificent. She's winning 70 points, 70% of points when her first serve finds the target, and that is the case in 69% of the time. 17 winners to 13 unforced errors. That is a +4. That is a very good stat to have with a little bit of breeze. A very clean match from Iga Swiatek so far.
Those numbers for Bouzkova, the serving stats in particular, they need to be around 70% first serves into play to put pressure on Swiatek. As we look at the highlights from set number 1, and pretty clean hitting from Swiatek. Yes, there were unforced errors, but they're more than balanced out by the winners.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you put, how do you say it in English? You hit the nail on the head?
Yep, that's it. Yeah.
Nice. With the serving, I think if you play the number 2 in the world, when she is playing so well, Swiatek, you have to be at least 60% of first serve percentage, and that's the one thing Bouzkova has been struggling with in the first set, so something to look into in the second set for her.
Well, again, it's playing at Iga's pace. A set to the goods.
Swiatek is able to be so far inside the baseline is Bouzkova's first ball is landing relatively short, and with how quick Swiatek is around the court, she's using that quickness in an aggressive way as well. So Bouzkova's going to try and have to find some more depth.
The question for me, though, is how, particularly with the speed of the ball coming at her from Swiatek.
Yeah, that is going to be the challenge, but this was the perfect example of what Jill just talked about. Short in the court, and boy, Wim Fissette will be very happy with the net attacks today from Swiatek.
First game, second set.
Things rolling nicely. Well, to underline your point about coming to the net, 9 of 9 for Iga Swiatek today coming forward. That's why Wim Fissette would be happy.
He will be. And she had in her match against Susan Lamens at the United Cup, she won 10 out of 11 net points. And when I mentioned it to her, her eyes went all wide and she couldn't believe the words I was saying. She thought I was tricking her. So I think she underestimates how good she is at the net and how good her volley is. She still needs to develop some sort of an instinct in where to stand when she does attack. But once the volley is in play, I do feel like, hey, she's a mixed doubles finalist at the US Open with Casper Ruud. Wow. Well, and Jill, the question is there anything apart from the depth that Bouzkova could do to stop this onslaught from Swiatek right now?
I think the placement of the serves needs to be a little bit more accurate. And Swiatek's teeing off on these returns as well. But I think it's really about just trying to take the risk. Good effort from Bouzkova, but what I was going to say is take the risk and be willing to maybe hit some balls long in the court. Try and go for that length because everything is landing, or the majority are landing pretty short. So be okay to see if you miss a couple long and then find your range.
Talk about that point that Jill's making about the service placement for Bouzkova. The juice court, the aim is to get out to that forehand. That's one we've seen the errors come from with Swiatek, as you'd expect. Interesting in terms of placement across the ad court. Mixture of body serves being thrown in as well. She had the wheels.
14-15.
Yeah, got it. They're just reading the play as well. Bouzkova trying to change things up.
14.
That's not working either. Spread the court nicely on that occasion.
1 game.
Yeah, this is a job well done by Bouzkova to just try and this is what I mentioned earlier and what I love about her. What a great competitor she is. She can feel that Swiatek, you know, she has a good day today. She is playing well. She's pushing her around, but Bouzkova remains there. She remains competing, and that way she gives herself the chance to find a way back in the match if and when Swiatek's level drops.
Drop shot's working very effectively because there's not much height on it over the net as well. She's executing in the shorter part of the court, but it's staying very low, so it's not bouncing up on Swiatek.
That's better depth. She can get access to that second serve in particular.
Yeah, caught it just before it jumped above her shoulder too, Bouzkova. That way was able to find the depth. A little bit of an opening here for her.
Here's an opportunity. Saw that stat in the opening set of time spent playing inside the baseline for Bouzkova. To get up the court a little bit more. I saw her on that occasion, right on the baseline for that ball. And there is the break. Marie Bouzkova fighting on. It's 2-1 in the second set. Oh, great turnaround here for Bouzkova.
Yeah, Swiatek trying to just settle herself, annoyed by the forehand. It was the one defensive shot that she flattened out. That was probably the better choice, to use a bit of height, but all credit to Bouzkova. She is such a, and this is why it's so important to be a good competitor, to stay there no matter what. Even the best in the world, it's so difficult to play a perfect match. Even they will have little letdowns, little drop-offs, and that's when you need to use your opportunity, and Bouzkova did that beautifully here. Doesn't mean she's going to win the match, but she's giving herself the opportunity to do well.
Well, if you can't be in John Cain Arena hanging out with us, you'll be on Grand Slam Oval. This is right near John Cain Arena, and in between that and Rod Laver Arena. It is jam-packed out there. People enjoying some refreshments. Chance to take a little break before getting into the night session. Plenty of entertainment out there as well.
Yeah, just needs to be careful there on the forehand a little bit, Swiatek. In those last 2 games, yeah, I think she might have just gotten a little bit of a talking to from the box. Maybe Jill heard something, but she's just flattened out the forehand a bit too much. That's why we saw a few misses in the net.
I couldn't quite pick up exactly what Wim Fissette was saying, but mentioned something to Iga, and she just gave a frustrated look, and then he just had some words of encouragement, just come on, let's go. But you can see that she's getting a little bit anxious on that forehand side.
14 love.
It's smart for Bouzkova, just hitting everything to that wing right now.
Until that happens.
Figured that one out quickly. Yeah, it's such a curious shot, that forehand of Swiatek. It is one of the biggest weapons in the women's game when she's confident on it. And it's the one shot that can just go away for her at times when, as Jill said, a little bit of anxiety sets in, a little more tension.
And put that pressure on.
14.
That's why I think, you know, for all of the chatter about the coaches' pods and coaching and everything like that, you know, having them close, that's the advantage for Swiatek. To be able to just look over, the words of encouragement are there. I don't mind that.
No, me neither. And you can see here a lot more pace on the forehand for Bouzkova, and not happy with the racket. Might just switch frames, but Bouzkova.
Well, that's a coach. But again, you know, walk over there, a few words of advice, back out onto court. All the talk of, you know, players having to work it out and everything themselves. Yeah, that's true, but if you've got that support there, you're paying for it, you might as well use it.
But it's still funny to repeat that every time a coach speaks, I stop and listen as if I understand all the languages in the world. And 3 seconds in, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot I don't speak Czech, actually.
Well, you're across a couple, though.
I wish we had an AI or something that would just translate at the same time so we could be on top of it all. And now it's Bouzkova losing patience here, going far down the line twice, a little too early in the rally.
A couple in a row onto that backhand wing.
14 love.
She panicked a little bit there. She got caught so far back from the deep ball from Bouzkova and then just lofted that one, but it felt like just a little panic trying to run up to that ball from Swiatek.
That's getting the forehand working. Still don't have a break though in this second set. Bouzkova leading 3 games to 2.
Bouzkova leads 3 games to 2.
You can see the tablet that Win for Sets is using. They get all the stats delivered to them direct, and then some. There is so much data that is being gathered throughout the match that the coaches can see in real time.
And that is a danger, right? How much information that you see do you actually feed to your opponent? That would be even stranger.
Well, you have to walk down the other end of the court to do it, but yeah.
But to your player, there is even the best in the world can only work through so much information in the very stressful moment of a tennis match. So it's really an art to know what kind of information and what moment to feed to your player.
Time.
There is the tablet that all the coaches get access to, all of the stats, data being obtained in real time.
To see the stats.
Although Win for Set having a bit of trouble making it work.
I was just going to say, I don't think he's on the right page there.
Yeah, covered it well, closed in nicely. That closing speed forward is so good from Swiatek. It was an awkward ball. It was a good pickup from Bouzkova in the end.
Just those second serves that go away for Bouzkova a few times in very important moments of the match. Gives Swiatek just a bit of leeway here to maybe find back into the set.
Pressed that little bit too much.
Yeah, that was an opportunity there. That ball from Swiatek did not have a lot of pace on it, and Bouzkova just overhit on that forehand.
Oh, she's missed again. Didn't have to go that close to the line.
13-40.
That's sort of the fine tuning on the aggression from Iga Swiatek.
Good serve there, very good placement. Wasn't very fast, 141 kilometers per hour only, but Jill mentioned that the wind is slightly into Bouzkova's back on that side. Used the kick serve, got Swiatek out of position.
Oh no, it was just reaching for that ball. Wasn't up to it in time.
That was a great slice from Swiatek. The ball stayed so low. Actually, Bouzkova did a good job of trying to get up to it, but you're right, Pete just needed one extra step forward.
Let first.
We're back level again. The champions find a way. 3-all.
3-0.
Fantastic patience here from Iga Swiatek on that third break point. We saw the first one where she rushed a little, took a bit too much risk, played this one very safe, good risk, good amount of risk, not overplaying. Happy player, happy team.
We'll be riding that forehand as we've been talking about throughout the match. Now the stage where it's on. We talked about the winner to unforced error ratio still in favour. Swiatek +3. More winners to unforced errors, but it's where the unforced errors come in. They tend to come in groups. Tends to be more in runs. So look at that isolation and go, yes, more winners to unforced, that's great, but where are those unforced errors coming in and how often in terms of repetition do we see them, particularly on that forehand side?
That was the one serve that when she got the Ks per hour up in the last year, she forgot to serve that slice serve that she did before, and now they are incorporating back into her game. She's doing a lot better there.
Two in a row out wide in that court. It gets the job done. Swiatek back in front. It's 4-3 in the seconds. It's also that expression of the match being on your racket. And certainly it's the case for Swiatek, whether it's positive or negative. Yeah, it's been about that. And, you know, Bouzkova will know, particularly in that game, that, okay, Swiatek, there were a few errors leading up to that, then locked in again, and that's what's going to make it so tough for her, because she's got to think, okay, what can I do differently to be able to match this?
It was the same thing in the first round. She was down 5-3, Swiatek was, and Yuan Yue, who played a fantastic match, served for it at 5-4, 15-love. You thought, oh, this could go into 3. And Swiatek just came up with 4 of the biggest winners into the line, took so much risk, but it works out. Those are things champions. And I asked her afterwards in the interview, and she didn't even remember that anymore.
Aggression and precision, the key in that match. Oh, John Cain Arena rocking tonight. Just hesitated a little bit in terms of coming forward there, Swiatek. That's what cost her in the point.
I actually really like the way she constructed that point, though, because she got the ball she wanted. She did let it drop a little bit too much, but the combination of the high, heavy forehand into the corner, she got the short ball. Just didn't do enough with that swing volley.
Yeah, I agree with Jill. Bouzkova doing a fantastic job here and just hanging in there, making Swiatek work, making her really earn and construct those points. And sometimes that's all you can do in tennis when you're facing a very strong opponent.
Oh, got the first one, couldn't get the seconds.
Swiatek really read that play because she was already sprinting before Bouzkova actually hit the ball. She saw the angle of the racket and got such a head start up to the drop shot.
Bouzkova was waiting in that corner.
Sometimes you can be too fast up to the ball.
Yeah.
Swiatek just ran into it.
That's nicely done. And talk about patience being the key. She waited for a moment there.
And this is the Swiatek that every single player in the draw will be weary of. She might not get the winner right off the bat, but it hurts the muscles on the other side, having to run those heavy forehands down. I had the questionable pleasure of being on the other side of those, so I know what I'm talking about.
too good. Controlling the contest now is Iga Swiatek, Jill.
Well, I have to tell you, she is looking so focused because her team right in front of me are throwing fist bumps in the air, and now she's at the stage where she's not even engaging with them in a good way. I mean, she's just putting her head down and getting to work. That was an excellent point.
It sure was. Didn't need to pull the trigger too early. You just wait for that right moment. There's the backhand getting the job done. As I mentioned, just the semi-finals here for Iga Swiatek, and there'll be a lot of players who'll be signing for Australian Open semi-finals, but she wants a lot more than that. Kalinskaya, the 31st seed, will be the opponent for the winner in round 3. Iga Swiatek a game away. Oh.
Yeah, I just caught that a little bit behind her, but she got so low with the legs on the previous shot. Again, doing the right things, but that one just way behind her head.
Oh, that forehand working again. It's been a bit up and down throughout the match. Well, Bouzkova has been heading in that direction more often than not. A little hot and cold, but running hot now for Swiatek. Oh. And again, that wide serve coming to the fore, Jill.
That one's been working well for her, but she's getting it a little bit shorter in the box, which is really helping it swing away from Bouzkova. She's such a good front runner, Pete.
Yep, absolutely. The ideal hit out, really. An hour and 16 on court.
Great move from Bouzkova. As soon as she saw Iga in trouble, did not hesitate to transition forward, take that ball out of the air.
It's just been when those opportunities have come tonight, Jill, and they've been few and far between. Nope.
pretty gusty down here with the wind and just changed the conditions on Iga. Part of the reason I think that last forehand went flying off her racket. The wind is really behind her.
But a great recalibration though, Jill. I mean, that's been happening throughout today where she might be down for a little while, she recalibrates and everything's back on track again.
Yeah, one of the best at being able to let go of the previous point and bounce back so strongly. Great adjustments.
Iga Swiatek is coming for this Australian Open title.
2 sets to love.
A strong performance here in round number 2. 1 hour and 19 on the clock. Efficient play. And looking good as one of the title contenders in 2026.